Here I'm disassembling as delicately as I can I don't even know what I'm going to call that construction here, but it's based on a cube anyway. And you see these they end up being four-sided stars, but they look like little flowers here. Because they clip onto something pointy, they end up looking pointy themselves. Alright, and the last one is on the top there. That's how it joins. Get them off one at a time, be a bit careful. As soon as you unclip them, they want to flop around. There's the last one. I did the previous ones before I started filming. And that's what the middle looks like. It's its own little thing as well. Only if I get something out of the way. It's basically a cube where, that's a corner, that's a corner, that's a corner, that's a corner. The corners have been chopped off to make their star things. I guess you could call it another shape if you wanted. You could call it an octagon with the corners chopped off to make squares. That works too. And the same kind of thinking inside. That's just a smaller one of these. And you can see they go a bit crooked if you don't. Yeah. The whole thing's quite robust. These stars actually, they're all intention. If you wanted to ruin it, you would have to, in order to distort it too much, they would actually have to go into tension, and they don't want to. So that's what keeps the whole thing standing. And the trickiest part of it is these clever little stars. Now I'll try and take one off. I'm not sure how strong it's going to be when I take off the intervening members. Nor how much they'll hold their shape. You see, that's them. Where's the lens there? So you can see there's loops that have been joined and built up on. You've got to sort of lever them to come down on an angle like that. Take the other one off. Oh, that one was easier. Or was it? No, it wasn't. It's because I was breaking it. This one may not look as good when I get it off. Okay. So let me assemble those stars. There you go. And you're beginning to see the star. Now I'm going to ruin those things there. Take off their bits. I want to get this off in one piece. Ooh. Make up a pile of those stars. And a pile of these. And that's basically all the pieces. These stars. And these stars are the sort of the clever part, if you like. Try and get one apart here. Like Magneteer's thumbnail. One there. That's that. And they're interesting to make. I'll make one of them in a minute, but I'll lever this apart. My trusty packing tape knife. There we go. So that's that's a star, so that should have you already got 7. There we go. So there's 2 of them, and one of these, you can see there's a point missing on that. It must be on this, which is going to be awkward. Maybe it's that one. Alright, and this looks like there you go, that should be part of that, I think. And stars. Well, you don't use these as stars, you use these as here. Okay. So there you have little rings of 6, and alternating with little rings of. Oh, that's a bit. I haven't done a very good one, but look. The rings of, just look at the top because the bottom's sort of distorted. Rings of 6, and then in between them you put little 4 loops. So that's the 4 loop there. Those are your 6 loops. And in between them you put a little 4 loop like that, a 4 loop like that, and that makes the middle one. It's got to stick out like that. And that makes the middle ones. Alright, so there's 3 little 4 rings and there's 3 6 rings in a loop. That's distorted. I'll try and make another one of them in just a second. And then on each side you put a star. So let me just dismantle that and try and make it again. So we've got a 6 ring, a 6 ring. We're not looking at the 6 rings, are we? And then another 6 ring, and we have 3 little 4 rings like that. And so that there, that makes up the middle layer of that star shape. Put it together like that, and oops, and like that. And we just go around doing that. Initially I had only little 3 rings in the middle, but it led to a lack of symmetry, which was not pleasing. So you end up with that. Right? So it's just clipping 4 rings onto 6 rings. And then you clip the 6 ring onto the point of the star and just fold it over, being careful that they will form up properly, and you've got that thing. And then you put the star back on, and you've got a nice star. And then that, you make these things up, and you've just got to fiddle around with these. You've got to make sure that the polarity is right. If it doesn't do that, you turn it around. If it doesn't want to go, it's sort of not wanting to stick. So that's wrong. So they're bipolar. Then that's because the loop changes polarity here and here. Right, and you just connect up a lot of them. And you can probably use the same general idea in lots of different situations. But here, I used it to make that. And I thought it might be good to explain just how I make these small rings. Okay, it occurred to me that it might not be as straightforward as I was thinking. So what you do is you start with rings like this, and these ones, they go counter-directionally, so they go like that and not like that. Okay, you don't want that, like that kind of linkage. You want them to be reversed, so each just goes one way, the round ones go the other way. And these ones you can make, you can either pinch them or just put the balls on at the end like that. That will work. And they just clip together. They're very, very easy to make. But that's if you know what you're doing, I guess. Once you know how to make them, they're easy. And then it's the same with these little ones. Alright.
you just make up 7 and 9 in this one. Well, you can see that as a 7 ring with 2 little things just put on it. And you don't put them together like that, you get them like that. Okay, and then they clip on. And each time you just got to make sure they're not going the wrong way. Everyone I've put on has been the wrong way so far. And it's not every second like that, it's every first. And they're really quite easy, and it's the same. I made another tutorial how to make stars. If you wanted to turn it into a star, I mean, it would be relatively easy to do. I think you just put an extra ball on. Oh, hang on. Take them off and put them back on, or they don't suit me. We make stars, and you can do all sorts of fun things with stars too. But there's another tutorial on stars, although those were 5-pointed stars. But this is not made from stars. This is made from shapes like this, and they clip on to another thing with a star. So if this was some other component, like on this, they clip onto it, and it looks like a star, but it's not. It starts life like this, and that's a crucial thing. If you had another end, like somewhere on your actual other piece, like this, ended in a, instead of ending in points like that, that you could then, see the point, that you could then clip this onto. If it, instead of that, it ended in like a double side like that with no extra on it, then you could end it in a point and put the point into the double. So it's just a matter of what you're trying to mate it into. If you're mating it into a point, you use a double. If you're mating it into a double, you use a point. Very, very easy.